Hi, welcome to my 1 year, 10-day check-in with No Nicotine. Welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about how one can let go of nicotine when it comes to mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And the reason I'm doing this video is to help anyone that was in a position that I was once in, where I'm coming from a space where 1 year and 10 days ago, before that amount of time, I was using nicotine for around 5 to 6 years, and up until that point, about 1 year and 10 days ago, I thought that there was no change to be done. There was nothing that I could change, or nothing could happen that would make me want to quit nicotine until, I put in that work, I put in that actions to quit nicotine. And why am I sharing this video, and why do I make videos on this? Well, it's because I'm here to change the reality that we're in, and also to help people and for someone else to relate to that is going through something that I possibly, that's possibly going through something that I actually went through as well. And to be able to teach, be able to inform, spread the consciousness of this, and also learn on this path, and be able to share with you guys, and to be able to connect with you guys over this format, over this platform. So how can one let go of nicotine when it comes to mentally? One can let go of nicotine by that saying that out of sight, out of mind. So use that saying to your benefit when you do make that decision to stop nicotine. Once you stop seeing your nicotine because you either ran out, you got rid of your device, or your cigarettes, you just threw them out, whatever it may be. Once it's out of your sight, allow it to exit your mind at that same rate, and be able to realize that, okay, mentally, I'm letting go of this nicotine. Mentally, I'm letting go of what does nicotine mean to me mentally. Think about that, and then be able to say, okay, I'm letting go of the stress-free quality nicotine gives me when I hit it. I'm letting go of that mental stress that nicotine can relieve from me. Even though it's for only a short amount of time, I've become so fixated on that mentally I need, or at least perceive that I need to have this nicotine to be able to mentally exist, mentally apply myself, mentally go about doing things. Remind yourself that these are things that I'm going to be letting go of very soon, and then also tell yourself mentally, how is this going to help me when it comes to mentally? How is letting go of this behavior going to, and how would I like for it to change in my favor? How would I like, my mental state of being to be able to benefit from letting go of nicotine? And I'm just specifically talking about nicotine in this video. You guys can apply this to any substance use. Or any action that you might want to get rid of, let's say a behavior that is not right for you. So yeah, mentally letting go of that is definitely a step that needs to be done, and realizing that, like I said, out of sight, out of mind. Once you don't have it around you, you're not going to be thinking about it as much right away. Of course, in the beginning stages of your journey without it is, obviously you're going to continue to think about it, just because, you've trained your mind state, and your states of beings have been so in this cycle that they're used to it, so they're automatically going to continuously think about the substance, let's say. And when you do have those thoughts about that substance, you remind yourself, okay, why am I doing this? This is mentally making me stronger. Mentally, I'm becoming more stable each moment I go, in each mental form that tells me, oh, you need to go do nicotine again. Why are you not using nicotine? Why are you not using this substance? You're going to be able to build that strength where you can answer those questions. I'm not doing that anymore because that's not right for me. I'm not using that anymore because I'm letting go of that behavior. I'm letting go of that substance. I'm letting go of that, call it whatever you want, addiction. You're just letting go of that. And allow yourself to mentally move about freely with this new energy of, I'm not attached to this substance anymore. I'm not attached to nicotine as brutally or as extremely as I was before. And each moment you go without it, each time you say, no, I don't need it, that's right, I'm doing this for these reasons, you're going to become more and more detached and more let go of from your substance, from that substance. When it comes to physically, how can you let go of nicotine? Well, physically, you let go of it by, like I said before, you make that decision to go without. And once that decision is made, you continuously stay disciplined and you continuously back up that position that you're making and that decision that you make to physically detach from it, to physically let go of nicotine. For me, I like to, as soon as it was time, even if my device wasn't out of, let's say, juice or out of battery or whatnot, I would take a hit off of it, and I'd normally be driving. This is because it was a very busy time in my life, and that those were other things that led to my decision to stop nicotine. But I'll get into that throughout, plenty of other videos that I'll get to, that beginning part to what led to this 1 year, and as of now 10 days without nicotine, and this 1 year 10 days journey. We'll get into that. But physically, I like to throw it out the window or throw it in the trash, like slam it in the trash, or you can even destroy it. Whatever you can do to physically remind yourself, this is something I'm letting go of. Physically, I'm showing my own opposition towards this action. And I think that helped me a lot, because I was so ready at that point that I told you that I, threw the device out the window. That as soon as I did that, yeah, maybe I relapsed after that point in time. But guess what? That built so much confidence, so much forward momentum when it comes to letting go of nicotine physically, that the next device I got, I was already thinking about, okay, I know how to physically detach from this. I know how to physically let go of this. Physically, I'm coming to a point, grab it in your hand, whether that be whatever substance you use, nicotine, whatever it is, have it physically and start to understand that in relation to you physically and this object physically, or let's say behavior or whatnot, understand that you're not going to be involved with it anymore and able to let go. At best, that this is for right now that you're doing this. And let's talk about your reasons for physically. Why are you letting go of it? Remind yourself of, why'd you let go of it physically? I say all the time that, not all the time, but I can always say all the time, if I had wanted to express it, is that I can still just remember exactly how it feels to hit my vape. I still remember exactly how it feels to get that nicotine head rush. Even the flavor of the nicotine, and I'm not talking about just the flavoring that it comes with. I'm talking about that flavor of the nicotine once it's, ingested into the body or inhaled into the body in this case. Once that happens, I'm just so much aware of that feeling already that I can use this to bring it up and to say at the space that I'm in right now. Maybe it would have been hard, if you talked to me a day after quitting, or maybe a week after quitting, but it's consistently gotten to the point where I can remember that and I can say, I don't want that for myself right now. Like, I could go to the vape store right now and say, physically, let me bring myself to the store. It's been a year and 10 days since I've done it. Why don't I go back and involve myself in this substance, or involve myself in this nicotine use again? I could just as easily do that, but I'm aware that physically that's not the right call right now to be made, and that there's still a lot more to be done when it comes to justifying going back to a substance as nicotine, a substance like nicotine. and getting involved in that action again, to where, you know, you're involved with the nicotine and you're actually interacting with it when it comes to physically. So let go of that nicotine, knowing that it's not like you're never gonna see it again. It's not like you're ever gonna be able to do it again. But you make decisions right now to benefit your physical state of being, and you're gonna be able to live longer, and you might be having the opportunity to do that when you're older. And at a rate that, now that you've gone without it, you can actually implement some moderation. I'll tell you that also comes with going on a path like myself. So you let go of that when it comes to physically by just not being around it. And in turn, you pay it no energy whatsoever, even when you see it around other people that have it, even when you see people hitting it in front of you, no matter what, you know, you are gonna be the one to choose how you react to that. So normally I would suggest just not reacting at all, not paying it any energy. Be aware of it, see it for what it is, which is another thing, seeing it for what it is that happens when you do go without that substance. And being able to consistently say, okay, I'm distancing myself, I'm letting go of this when it comes to physically. Emotionally, how can one let go of, you know, and if you're still watching this video, just sit back, relax. I got about, let's say, 9 more minutes for me to record this video. And yeah, show some support. And let's finish up this video. So emotionally, one can let go of nicotine when it comes to really just understanding and being aware of, I no longer have anything that I owe towards this nicotine. I have no more emotional debt. I have no more emotional burden. But you do, as long as you're still using it, and as long as you're still, you know, just doing it just because it makes you feel good or just because it invokes your emotional state of being. Come to reason with the fact that I no longer owe that anything. And in fact, I am actually against it in a way, to where I have the obligation to make sure that when I'm going without this substance, that I am going to be emotionally more stable, that I'm going to be emotionally more strong and able to use my emotional state of being in a way where it's balanced, in a way where it's not, like I said, dependent, like I said, it's not burdened, it's not compromised. I'm going to step into a new space when it comes to emotionally, where I'm letting go of this action, I'm letting go of this nicotine, I'm letting go of X substance, because I am wanting to emotionally step into a new space. I'm wanting to exist and experience different emotions that aren't so related to what I've just experienced on a constant basis, from getting the fulfillment, getting that good feeling out of that substance, out of that activity, out of that behavior that you were so used to. So let go of that when it comes to emotionally detaching from that, especially, like I said, if you see it around you or anything like that, and it does invoke your emotional state of being, just work through it. You're going to be that much better and that much more willing to work through those emotions now that you're not so dependent on something, and now that you have your emotional freedom from that binded action that you were so invested in. And you will be able to notice that, hey, I'm not even experiencing the same emotions that I let go of when it comes to my nicotine or my substance addiction, or let's say this negative trait action or behavior. You're gonna notice that emotionally you're constantly letting go of it, and you're constantly letting in for new emotional states of existence and new emotional experiences. A thing that you'll realize that I've talked about before is when you do try going without, you'll realize that immediately what you say is enough to invoke. It's enough to have an effect on your emotional state of being immediately. So you can tell, like, dang, my words really carry power, and they really are, what I say really goes through me first. So emotionally, what you start to do is all your actions, mentally, physically, spiritually, you start to be more connected to that, and be more able to react when it comes to my reactions emotionally are much more stronger about this. They're not dulled, they're not going somewhere where I don't want it to go. I'm not paying homage to this deity, this spirit, whatnot, this action. It doesn't have any power over me. So it's about taking that back and feeling like you're in your power when it comes to letting go emotionally. So physically, one will let go of nicotine, not physically, but spiritually. I don't know if I said that, but anyway, spiritually, letting go of the nicotine it's like putting yourself in a new spiritual space. It's about seeing it for, okay, at the end of the day, I'm a spirit first, and spiritually, I've gotten the intuition that this is my next path in life. This is the next action that I'm going to take, and know and trust that it's going to have faith in yourself that you're going to be put into and shift into a different spiritual state of being when it comes to going without that. Letting go of something when it comes to spiritually is it fits right in, because once you do let go of something, once you go without it, you're automatically put on a spiritual path of what is going on right now. Spiritually, what am I experiencing? What was I experiencing? And being able to see the perspective of everything that is persisting and everything that is, happening around you. It's about bringing that together and being able to tell, how am I benefiting from this when it comes to my spiritual state of being. Spiritually, letting go of it is, like I said, it's hand in hand with putting yourself on that path, immediately being in a new spiritual state of existence, and you'll start to realize that going through those hard times, going through the difficult times of staying disciplined, of going without, regardless of how you think, regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of what you physically see about it or are experiencing about it, you know that at the end of the day, you are benefiting when it comes to spiritually. Because going through those hardest times are when some will find a spiritual system, or when some will be able to relate more to spirituality. When the toughest times, those are when you turn into that phoenix, when you actually rise up to that higher version of you. And that's just a phrase, but the tough times are going to be able to build you up spiritually and be able to give you a spiritual perspective that is not influenced, not compromised by anything, and that is one that is right for you. So that letting go will happen along this journey. And, thank you for being here. Make sure you guys show some support, like the video, trying to get into the algorithm so these videos can get out there more and more. It's obvious that there's been, a lot of attempts to silence the truth, to censor what is actually needing to be said, just based off of what I've been able to see, what I've been able to tell, as long as numbers go, as long as things like that go. But yeah, this is a video about, how one can let go of nicotine. You can use this to learn also about how can I also go without this substance? How can I also go without maybe a negative action, maybe a negative behavior that I have going on? Anything that you've learned from this, make sure you show some support. Thanks for watching my video. That's going to be it for the 1 year and 10-day check-in without nicotine. I'm going to be making the Lost Mary vape company, explanation slash decoding slash exposing, you might say, of how they are actually affecting not just them, but big nicotine. And I want to specifically key in on the Lost Mary because it has a biblical reference, and it has a end times reference as well, and it has a what I related to as mark of the beast when it came to, you have an addiction, you have this, and if you're not able to detach from it, then that's something that's actually marked on you. It's almost like a mark of a beast in a way. But yeah, this has reference and I believe witchcraft going on with it, so I want to bring that to light, and I'm going to be making that video, I'd say, in what time is it? It is Monday, July 17, 3:44 in the afternoon. I'll be gone for about 7 hours, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to be making that video, the Lost Mary video. That's going to be also dropping tonight. Let me know if you guys have any questions that you want answered, anything that I've said, but anything that you think is controversial, anything that other people have said that is controversial, anything regarding my Twitter debates, anything regarding any of my videos, any of my content. Go ahead and comment down below. Even if it's not anything like that, just do it, whatever it may be. So, thank you for watching my video. I'll catch you in the next one.